It's going live. Come on. Come on. I really hate this YouTube beta streaming system. It's ridiculous. I am live now. Awesome. So, welcome back, everybody. Dirk the Red Panda here again with Tennis Ace. I kind of ended the last video abruptly, but yeah, with this, I wanted to make a separate video for June's updates. Just to kind of make things, you know, separated so I won't have to edit it all later. Makes it easier for me in the end. So let me restore the chat. Settings. Let's see how this looks. And it should be good. So we are going to... Okay, perfect. Works like a charm. So we are going to continue with the June route this time, which ended on day 16. So, I didn't say my thing. With that out of the way, let's get back into the reading. Alright, we are back in the reading, I guess. So, sorry for making you guys have to travel to a new video just for this, but yeah. Especially when I just got the creator on there, it was like kind of rude. So, I am here now. Alright. So, I wonder what that thing Aki whispered to him before, or what was that thing Aki whispered to him before he went back upstairs. Alright. Wait, isn't that the day of the festival? May 29th? I guess. Dot dot dot. Somehow, I'm faintly aware of the fact that I'm already half awake. Oh, okay, so they're all gonna tie in like 17, 19, and I'm assuming 18 is gonna tie in for Keisuke. Interesting. I did not know it was gonna be like that. My eyelids feel so incredibly heavy that the idea of opening them starts to feel like wishful thinking. No more importantly than that, I just don't want to. My bed is so nice and comfortable and warm. For some reason, I feel like I've gone through 7 rounds of wrestling with a truck. Well, hyperbole aside, I do feel kind of sore. I haven't been sleeping very well lately and feel tired all the time. If you have your game set to skip read, then you can just go skipping and it will stop at the lines that are exclusive to June's route. Oh, that's nice, Basket. But don't do this if it's set to skip unread. Yeah, okay. I kind of like to do, like, reread through all the lines again just for people who have missed the other one, but I guess I could probably just, yeah, skip to the June parts. This is gonna be a really weird way if I edit it, but yeah, I guess we can skip. So we have read this already, so let's see. You guys think I should skip? I'm just gonna keep reading normally unless you guys want me to skip. So although this is already more or less old news to me, thank you, Insomnia, last night was many times worse. I'm not quite sure why. That's an hour of gameplay you just played. To be honest, yeah. So I'm probably just gonna skip it once it gets through here. So you don't need to redo it again, otherwise it'll be the same. Oh, I hit the skip button. I'm like, I'm just gonna skip now, and literally the next line is this. So I guess if I had to try and come up with a reason, it'd be because I'm troubled over my thoughts of June. Interesting. So now it's a different reality. Ever since he first arrived, he's been kind of like a typhoon in my life. Constantly flipping everything on its head. It's scary when I think of just how much I've come to love his presence in my daily life. Just trying to think of how things would have been if you weren't here makes my chest hurt. Oh my god. Because I got here late, I had to sit around all afternoon because I show me around school. I get it. Just slow down. He's clumsy and silly and always kind of on edge. Saying he's not good with people would be a huge understatement. I tripped on my shoelaces when I was getting up and ended up hitting my head on the piano. The next thing I know, I'm in the hospital. And at this point, I already know for a fact that he's hiding something about his health. Something probably serious. He's not very honest about it. But I believe that the reason we can feel so awful about the things we do is because we love what we do. We love it so much that we want to devote everything we have to it, and that makes us worry when we feel like we're not making progress. Those feelings of helplessness are awful, but in a way, I feel like they are also wonderful. Because to me, they are proof that I really love the piano more than anything else. He's got such a good heart. Even if he is a giant doofus and always looks like he's just no good at most things, he's gentler than anyone I've ever met. And somehow, I find myself wanting to protect that gentle heart of his. Because every time I see him smile like that, I feel happy. It's gotten to a point that he's in my mind even when we're not together. It's making me feel restless and confused, and I don't know what's happening to me. I hear the sound of knocking, suddenly dragging my attention away from my own thoughts. So we are going to, yep, when I see it, Aki opens the door, blah blah blah. You've already forgotten something else important this weekend? Did you say something? Nah, just get out of the bed already before I get the bucket. So, what did we forget? Did we forget the festival? I'm coming. Jeez, give me at least a minute. By the time I finally go downstairs... Wait, what? Was there a new character? Sorry, it just looked like there was a new character. So, okay, so check up on Shoichi. Why? Oh, because we forgot about the game and we didn't go to it. Aki's shoulders slump as he face palms, looking astonished. Come on, I already knew you forgot over the weekend, but you can't be this clueless, can you? I don't know what you mean. Shoichi Ni's competition was this weekend. You're the only one who didn't show up. Oh my god, I feel terrible in this world now. Ugh, god, that kills me. Yeah. Huh? Now you remember. Aki rubs his forehead, sighing. He looks so disappointed that it hurts. No way. I can't have forgotten about that. You did. Even Jun-san showed up on Saturday, although he said he was busy on Sunday and couldn't come. I didn't give you much flack over it because I found out when you guys got home that he had a competition too. Still, you could have at least showed up on Saturday, if you weren't gonna be there Sunday. Why didn't you tell me on Saturday? If you'd reminded me, I would have just showed. What am I, your personal calendar? You're almost an adult. You should learn to handle your obligations by yourself. But this was important. You should have reminded me. You woke up really late. I thought you'd head over there right after that, so I went first. Then, when you didn't show up, well, there wasn't much I could have done. What about calling me? I have a phone, you know. Aki shrugged, closing his bag and putting it over his shoulder. It's not like you ever have your phone anyway. Besides, are you really gonna keep trying to pin the responsibility on me? I can't believe no one called me. I can't believe you didn't show. See, we can go in circles like this all day. Is Shoichi really mad? He was disappointed. Although right now I guess he's just depressed. They lost pretty handily at the finals. I'll try talking to him once I get to school. Thanks. Oh, and tell Jun-san I said hi. Why Jun in specific? He shrugged again, stopping by the hallway leading to the front door. I don't know. You two are together often and are really close. I thought it'd be appropriate. Anyway, see ya. Alright, so the sound of the door closing echoes down the hall. So, talk to June, huh? Come to think of it, didn't Aki say something about thinking the two of us were a couple yesterday? Oh no. Thinking about this just makes my head hurt. Oh, and there's the mom. It's like, I feel bad for skipping this, but I know we read through this already, so this is the very serious part. Talks about dad. Oh, you mean the one you missed, so why wouldn't I be? So, talking about the competition. You mean the one you missed? Shoichi's words dig straight to the point, not wasting any breath with idle chatter. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have forgotten. It's fine. You worry too much. You're not mad? How should I put it? I guess I was a little bit surprised, I guess. You showed up to all my competitions since we first became friends, so it caught me a bit by surprise. But then again, you've always been an airhead, so something like this was bound to happen. Hey, I'm not an airhead! Oh, so should I assume the alternative of you just not caring and skipping because you couldn't be bothered? Okay, I'm an airhead. Are you sure you're okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, losing is definitely a chore, but it isn't that big of a deal. It's just a high school club. Hearing those words just grosses me out in all sorts of ways. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. You don't look really happy to hear it. No, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. The last thing I need right now is for you to be worrying about me. By the way, how was it? June's competition, that is. Wait, what? You knew about it? Not at first. Aki messaged me last night to tell me why you didn't show up. At least as far as Sunday is concerned. He was super worried about smoothing things over for you. It was kinda cute. You really do unnecessary things sometimes, Aki. It was good. June got first place. It was great to watch. Really? You don't sound too happy. Sorry, I kinda have a lot on my mind. That's fine. By the way, if you head over to your classroom, tell June I congratulated him on his victory, okay? Will do. Why do I get the feeling that I'm being turned into some kind of errand boy? Even inside the school hallways, the whole place is packed with students running down the halls in a rush. And skip we go! Or stip, according to Wolfstar. Sins in Paradise. So Keisuke talks. So we say hi to June. Look at me, my waiter uniform. Look, isn't it cool? June spins around where he stands, trying to show off the whole thing to me. He even lifts his tail when he turns back to me, probably so he can give me a good view. I see what you did there. Unfortunately for me, all that does is pull my attention towards his back. I feel my cheeks suddenly becoming quite red and I look away. Doesn't it look great on me? Yes, it does, June. You do look very cute in that uniform. What? Cute? I'm not cute. That's for girls. I don't know what to tell you there, June. You're pretty cute. I'm not. Yeah, you are. And you look pretty adorable when you blush. You're so fucking precious when you smile. Oh my god. He's just the best. This June route's so good. So,
Don't say things like that.
anyway, you're all set to be a waiter. Or, you're all set to be a waiter, huh?
Yes, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I have no idea how going around serving people food is supposed to be fun, but hey, each to his own, or to each his own. I've never heard that phrase before. I look around the room, seeing a few of our classmates dressed in similar clothes to June. For some reason, there are barely any waitresses here. In fact, most of them are guys. What happened to the girls? It's looking like a real sausage party in here. Sausage party? Oh, never mind. Probably shouldn't use an expression like that around June. I really don't need to taint him with that sort of thing. Anyway, what happened to the girls? It's mostly just guys around here.
Oh, I actually asked Ayako-san about that. She said most girls refuse to wear the Chinese dresses, but that she said they all agreed anyway, so the guys would too.
So she basically used the promise of girls in Chinese dresses as bait to get more waiters. That's really scummy. The improv kitchen is looking pretty good though. Although, why is it all hidden behind panels? The entire that used to be the blackboard had been walled off with wooden bamboo panels that then get decorated with multiple Chinese symbols. Dragons, lions, some letters. Wait, is it that the Chinese zodiac over there?
Apparently, Gin-kun said he felt too shy about cooking with the guests being able to see him.
But doesn't walling off the whole area mean that the heat from the burners will be trapped in there? Jesus.
Yeah, Jin-kun was complaining about that.
These guys are insane.
Oh, but there are a few holes cut out on the counter so the waiters can pick the food up when it's ready.
Seriously, how the hell did you people have all these crazy ideas? Hopefully there won't be any accidents.
You don't have to worry about the others, Nico-san. As the oldest one here, I'll make sure to look after them.
You're the one most at risk of causing an accident. Maybe I should talk to Gin and ask him to not let June handle any hot plates. Will they even serve cold plates? June-kun, we need your help here. A voice calls June from amidst the mess of chairs and panels on the other end of the room. So,
I'm coming. Sorry, Nico-san. We'll have to talk later.
It's alright. I'm gonna take a walk around the place. We'll meet up later.
Yeah, I can't wait.
June scurries away and disappears into the kitchen area. Smiling and shaking my head slightly, I make my way out the door to explore the festival a little more. Oh, so I guess everybody's saying hello to Briar, so hello, Briar. I'm assuming you're a big channel because you have YT in your name. But, yeah. Hello, man. Anyway, after I walked around for a bit on my own, I noticed the time we agreed to meet was coming close to arriving. Let's skip this part too. Talk. Did you hear the news about June-kun? Saya has news on everybody. Sorry. What news? Well, apparently some kind of brand contacted the school principal today to talk about sponsoring our school music club. Whoa, that's pretty big. I wonder what brought that up. Apparently, Jun-kun took part in a competition yesterday and won. Oh, yeah, he did. How did you know? What? So you knew? Kinda. I found out about it last week, but June didn't want to tell anyone. I snuck in anyway to cheer for him. I can't believe you didn't tell me. If you'd show up, you would have missed Shoichi's competition just like I did. Oh, damn, you're right. It's not an idea I recommend. Yeah, I can imagine. Shoichi was the one who told me about it. Then this morning, I heard from Kyo-chan about the sponsorship. How does she know?
She's the principal's granddaughter, remember? Yeah, but still, this isn't the kind of thing you share with your granddaughter. Shouldn't this kind of thing be kept a bit more confidential? I don't see the big deal. He probably just remembered she goes to the same class as Jun-kun and decided to tell her about it. I still think that was a real lack of tact. That's rich coming from the most tactless person I know. Hey, it's true. I grumble, kicking up a bit of dirt from the ground. Saya stares at me as if the whole thing was very amusing to her. Ah, look, here comes the boys. I look up on cue with her announcement, seeing the three of them walking on the main building. Once again, I'm going to skip this part. If you've been wondering why I kept skipping parts and haven't seen my last episode, basically day 17, or the equivalent of day 18 in Keisuke's route, and day 19 Shoichi's route, are all technically the same. The only bits that are changed are the parts that don't get skipped and show stuff specific for each character, so I should have announced that earlier, but just so you guys know, I'm going to skip this. Skip. Oh, wait, what? Okay. We missed the whole choosing the Wolf Star character, so, okay. Nothing much we missed, so. In the previous episode, we saw the Wolf Star characters as famous video game characters, and supposedly it's a famous 90s game. So, we are not going to choose Janice. I am going to go with Rufus. So, I really liked Rufus. His clothes are really stylish. He looks like he'd be the cool character of the bunch.
He kind of is. Okay, you could take Rufus. My favorite is Janice anyway.
Sweet. Wolfstar was the one I liked the most. He's mine. I can take Hugo. I admire my new keychain, examining how good the color and molding of it is. The metal on the back is also really smooth and has a brushed feel that I quite like. Alright, yep, they are pretty stylish. So,
Thanks a lot, Ryuji-kun. I love these.
don't you want one, Saya?
Nah, I'm not really fond of keychains anyway.
Thank you for your business. June waves goodbye to Ryuji while we walk away. While everyone else either put the keychain in their pocket or with their keys, June walks around staring at his the whole time. He looks to be really pleased with it. It's kind of funny. The rest of the day isn't very eventful. We go around a few stalls eating together, we play a few games here and there. There is barely any time for us to do anything as everyone's breaks quickly end. This was the only time we could schedule for all 5 of us to go around together, so it's kind of sad that it ended so soon. I think Hugo is the best to take. Shoichi doesn't say anything about getting his favorites. Oh no, did I miss it? Did Basket say something? Nah. Not that I noticed, so. I guess in Keisuke's route we can try that. Why not? So, this is the only time we could schedule for all 5 of us to go around together, so it's kind of sad that's ended so soon. As the other 4 leave to attend their classroom's own events, I continue to roam around by myself until I get tired and decide to go back home. I have to mentally prepare myself for tomorrow as the place is probably gonna be much more packed. Hooray, we made it to day 18! Alright, so I'm going to overwrite that save just in case. Actually, I'm not sure if that was a good idea. I regret that already. Why not? I stand around with my back against the wall, impatiently tapping my feet on the floor. So, we did mess up for this one, I think, Wolfstar. Like, if anything, we probably may have been for Shuichi's route, but who cares? So, anyway, I stand around with my back against the wall, impatiently tapping my feet on the floor. I pull out my phone to look at the time, realizing that it's already been 15 minutes since the agreed upon time. 2:30. That's when June's shift was supposed to end. We had agreed through messages yesterday that we'd go around together, just the two of us, since the other all said they were too busy to leave.
And yet, there is still no sign of the tiger. I don't want to go inside the classroom and get yelled at by either Kyoko or Ayako for not helping around, so I choose to wait outside, a little ways away from our class. Still, I've kept my eyes peeled on the door the whole time and nothing. How come every time I set up something with June, I always end up waiting? Maybe I should start to schedule with him 15 minutes before I actually show up so I won't have to wait so long. There's a specific character you have to pick if you want everyone to get their favorites, but it doesn't make much of a difference.
All that effort for nothing. Thanks, Basket. I feel like we're all super stressed about this. Like, is this gonna make the big difference between any, like, special scenes and all that stuff? And it's like, turns out it's just a keychain. So I might just try that on my own and see what happens, but yeah, probably not a big deal. So maybe I should have to start scheduling with him 15 minutes before I actually show up so I won't have to wait so long. But then, knowing how he is, he'd be likely to arrive right on time if I did that and then complain if I was late. I sigh, rubbing my forehead as if I feel a tiny bit of frustration building up. I just want to go around the festival and have fun with a friend, not wait around the door like a glorified bouncer. The ones that will make a difference are the ones coming after. Oh yeah, I bet there's much bigger things than keychains, now that we think about it. So, my ears twitch when I hear the sound of the door opening. I turn my head to look around and, sure enough, see June looking around the hallway for me. Over here! I call out to him, waving with my left arm. I was holding up my right arm when I was doing that. A few heads among the crowds walking around the hall turn to me due to the sudden noise, but I decide to ignore them.
Like I imagined, the place is much, much more packed than it was yesterday. Part of me is really worried how June is going to react to the whole thing. Since he started his shift first thing in the morning, there weren't that many people around when he arrived. I hope it hasn't been too hard on him today.
Nika-san, good afternoon.
He walks up to me with a cheerful smile on his face. I can see his tail swishing around behind him. Guess even if he's calm right now, he can still feel all the people around. I make a mental note to try and avoid any really crowded areas. Good afternoon. How's the work?
Ugh, it was hard.
Well, I figured that much. No matter what, I just can't picture you doing well as a waiter. Still, that would be way too cruel to say out loud, so I'll keep it to myself.
By the way, you're not wearing your uniform today.
Nah, most students only wear it during the first day so they are allowed inside. We have teachers standing by the gates to make sure only students and staff show up then.
But Mizuguchi-san wasn't wearing a uniform.
Yeah, I have no idea how she got in. Probably brought her other clothes in her bag and then switched out of her uniform.
So, that's a lot of work, just to avoid using a uniform?
Not that I can blame her. The uniform is too stuffy and uncomfortable, and with lots of people walking around the entire time, it can get a bit hot. Especially since we're just a few days away from the start of summer, and the temperatures are already going up a bit.
I don't really mind wearing the uniform.
By the way, why don't you switch out of your waiter uniform? It has got to be an oven inside of that thing.
No, I like it.
The tiger hugs his arms close to his body, taking a step away from me and shooting me a weird look. His tail lashes behind him. You have beads of sweat rolling down your face and stains on stomach and chest.
That's just because it was really hot inside the restaurant. Ayako-san said she was going to have a bunch of wall-mounted fans installed this afternoon to make things a little less unbearable for the guests.
Yeah, please don't spoil anything in the chat right now. This is my first run through of it, so plus I don't want to spoil it for the people watching it for the first time. So, oh no. For the guests, they only stick around for 30 minutes at most. You should be worried about your classmates who have to work inside that scorching heat for the most of the day. Devil woman. Why are you even that worried about continuing to wear this thing? Is it because you have another shift in a few hours and don't want to have to get changed again?
Not really. It's just... Well, I won't have another chance to wear this again once the festival's over, will I? And it looks so good, too.
Can't you just take it home with you and wear it around whenever you want?
Nika-san, we weren't given this. This is a rental.
Oh. I guess I can understand a little better why he's being so stubborn. I mean, he's still being annoyingly stubborn, but it's a bit more acceptable, all things considered. I think.
Anyway, how about we go around checking the other classes? I really want to see what they've done.
Sure. How about I take you to some of the ones I've already seen and quite liked?
Yes, please. Lead the way.
To the other classroom. That looks the exact same. I take us down a couple flights of stairs to a different classroom that was having an event I found a bit fun. It was also a restaurant-like event, since those are kind of really easy to do and are all really popular with guests, but still different from our own classes.
Class 1E? Oh, why does that sound familiar to me?
Oh, that's Sora. Once we've taken a seat, a panda walks up to us, flapping a fancy laminated menu in front of us and smiling widely. Welcome to Avenue 9. I'm Sora, and I'll be your server today. What can I help you with? But June and my eyes go wide once we see him, suddenly surprised by the familiar face.
Ah, that's right. 1E was Sora-kun's classroom.
He sputters out those words, ignoring the fact that there's no point in pointing out what has already been made obvious. Wait, back to the back stream? I already know what happens, or what's gonna happen. Oh no. Please don't spoil it! Guys! Stop it! So, Sora pouts slightly, looking down at us with pitiable eyes. Aw, you mean you didn't come here just to see me? That's sad.
Sorry, I didn't mean...
The panda bellows out a laugh, giving June a tap on the back and smiling brightly at us. It's alright. I was just teasing you a bit, senpai. He sticks out a tongue and closes his left eye in a cheeky gesture, making June laugh beside me. I'm surprised to see you here. I came by yesterday and you weren't around. I didn't even know it was your class. The panda's smile dims a little once he turns to look at me and he suddenly seems a bit more uncertain. Well, I wasn't on shift yesterday, so...
The thing I'm most surprised about is how you're managing to work as a waiter, Sora-kun.
What do you mean? Sora peers down at June, cocking his head to the side, his emerald green eyes shining with curiosity. The panda shifts around, putting one of his hands inside the pocket of his striped jacket, I'm surprised he can walk around with those bulky headphones everywhere without the cable catching on anything.
I mean, you're not exactly very good with people. You're really shy after all.
And you're kind of clumsy. Irony. Both of us staring incredulously at the tiger. Sora and I both look at each other, dumbstruck by the words we just heard.
Is this guy serious? It's official. June doesn't have an ounce of self-awareness. I guess you might be right. I decided to take this role since I wanted to practice my people skills. It's been really fun despite a few setbacks. The bear laughs, his voice sounding very unrestrained and happy. It's kind of funny to me just how much more comfortable he is when he's addressing June. Every time he sees me or talks to me, he tenses up something fierce. But as soon as he turns to look at June, he noticeably relaxes. I guess June kind of has that power on people. He might be clumsy, airheaded, and silly, and sometimes a slightly stupid guy, but there is something about him that improves people's moods whenever he's around. Okay, now we need the pitchforks because Basket called June stupid.
So, anyway, I can't spend too much time chatting. Why don't you guys take a look at the menu and decide what you want? We nod, picking up the 2 menus he'd laid down on the table when he arrived. Cheesecakes, cakes, drinks. This is some good stuff, man. Avenue 9. Oof. Strawberry, lime, mango. Gotta go for that lime cheesecake again. Ooh, they have shortcakes. Ooh, they have blueberry shortcakes. Never had that before. It's just as simple as I remember it being. Not many options, easy to remember, but still looking kind of fancy.
Whoa, it's all desserts in here.
It's just desserts. And we're gonna get our just desserts. I'm sorry for a terrible pun. So, yes, our cafe is focused solely on cakes and cheesecakes. We don't have too many options, but they're all homemade and good quality. We have 2 sisters in our class that are daughters of a patissier. Oh, like a pastry. Patissier. Never seen that word before. So many creepy twin vibes. Oh, so that's why the stuff here is so good. They got their dad to prepare all the sweets. Sora chuckles, shaking his head sideways in amusement. Nah, they made them from scratch themselves. They're really good bakers too. I whistle, impressed at the skill these freshmen seem to have. I guess this school really is filled with impressive people. Do you guys know what you'll be having?
I don't know.
There's some. Before you even think about saying they're expensive, just know I'm gonna be treating you.
Are you sure?
Of course. It's only fair. I'm the only one who invited you to come here.
Okay.
I watched June's tail swishing contently back and forth behind him. The sight makes me giggle. For some reason, my chest feels very light right now.
I still don't know what to order. Ah, I know. Nico-san, order for me.
Not a good idea. Me? Are you sure? Are you sure about that?
I'm confident you know what I like well enough. Not to mention you've been here before. I think you'd make a better choice than I could. Faster, too.
Well, alright. Just don't complain if you don't like what I ordered.
I won't.
Somehow I doubt it. I pick up June's menu and put it together with mine, looking up to hand them to Sora-kun. When I see his face again, I notice him looking between the 2 of us with a big, goofy smile on his face. Even Sora knows. Is something the matter? No, nothing. I just was thinking over some stuff. He tries to laugh it off, but is visibly awkward. Still, I decide to shrug and ignore it, making my order instead. The last time I've been here, I got some cake, so this time I think I'll go with a cheesecake. Besides, if I get something both June and I like for myself, then I could share it with him later. Share it. So when I first saw June playing the piano, I thought he was going to be the hot one who teases you a lot while winking. But no, he had to be shy. I don't know how you got that vibe when you first saw him. I don't know, man. That is such a 180 from what I expected. So I'm sure he'd like that too. For me, I'll get. Watch the cake be like, this is the one that made it different! But I'm gonna go with lime cheesecake based on Keisuke's root and the fact that I like cheesecake. Or I like cheesecake. I like lime cheesecake in real life. So, lime cheesecake it is. I'm personally fine with any of these 3 flavors of cheesecake, so even someone as indecisive as me doesn't have much trouble choosing here. Okay, I'll go. Wait, what? What the frick? What the? What the? I didn't even read that! What the hell did it say? Okay, so. For me, I'll get. Okay, so don't complain if you don't like what I ordered. I don't know. Well, it said something, right? Go for strawberry cheesecake. For me, I'll go with. I want to go with lime. Let's both go with lime. I'm personally fine with any of these 3 flavors of cheesecake, so even someone as indecisive as me doesn't have much trouble choosing here. Okay, I'll have the. Wait, what? Okay, for June, I'll get. So I'm gonna choose the lime cheesecake, and for June. Okay, Basque, I'm not sure if that's meant to happen, but yeah. Kinda confused. I'm slowly starting my story. Oh, okay, I thought you were saying something else, but. Oh, yeah, because you're gonna start that story about being like everybody. That's so cool. Choose strawberry as the best result. For June, I actually love strawberry shortcakes in real life, so. Never tried a blueberry one, but if you guys insist, strawberry shortcake. Just like the cartoon or whatever. Isn't there like a strawberry shortcake cartoon character or something? I don't know. It's gotta be strawberry. Math is like, no! It was a while ago, but I remember that June liked strawberries. I don't even remember that. How long ago was that? Jeez, man. Where did... I don't even remember where we found that out. I'm sure this is an ideal cake. And a strawberry shortcake for June. Ah? June's face changes to one of astonishment, staring at me with an open mouth. You guys are clutch, though. Let me guess, you're probably thinking strawberry is one of my favorite fruits. How did he know? Aren't you? June nods slowly. It was kind of a while ago, but do you remember when I bought you the stuff back at Ayako's shop? Oh yeah, that I don't remember him saying it, but man, like day 9? Jeez, that was a while back. Oh, if you chose strawberry for both you and June. Let me just. Da, 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 da. This is totally real. I'm totally not changing anything. In one of the visits, you find out it's best result is picking strawberry everything. Kinda cheated there, but yes, now I did. So, it's kind of a while back when I brought you that stuff back at Ayako's shop. Yeah. Back then, the sweet you picked the most was strawberry. Or you picked the most of was the strawberry shortcake. You picked enough that if both of your parents got it, you'd still have a slice. So I figured that probably meant you liked the strawberry. Or at least the strawberry shortcake.
Well, that's amazing, Miko-san. I couldn't remember all that stuff even if I tried.
Gotcha. Anything to drink? What about it, June? Need me to choose it for you again?
Nah, I have no problem choosing what to drink. Sora-kun, I'll have some orange juice.
Oh, not strawberry?
I like it, but strawberry on strawberry feels a bit much, no?
Fair enough. Sora-kun writes down our order on a pad of paper he pulled out on his pocket, looking up from it to stare at me. What about you, Mishamae-san?
I'll have some grape soda.
He finishes jotting it down and slips the pad back into his pocket, nodding at us. Alright, your order will be out in a minute. The panda walks to the back of the room where a glass display case was neatly tucked away, showing off all the cakey goodness inside. How they managed to get something so big and heavy inside the building, I have no idea. People were already throwing out their backs trying to get the burners and propane tanks to our class, and those aren't nearly as heavy. But then again, they don't have to go up a bunch of flights of stairs to get here. Yeah, never mind. They got it easy. By the way, June, how has the table tending been going?
Pretty okay for the most part. I only had one rude customer, but as soon as he started getting difficult to handle, Ayako-san showed up and glared at him until he left.
So she's playing the part of bouncer now? Are you having fun doing it?
Well,
Uh-oh. Something wrong?
not exactly wrong. It's just that I really didn't think it'd be this stressful. Having to deal with customers, memorize orders, get them to the right table, not spill my any food, try to act cheerful the whole time. It's a lot.
I don't want to be that guy, but I did tell you all of this before and you chose to ignore me and sign up for it anyway. Why do you think so few people were signing up for it? What do you mean by memorize orders?
Sometimes people can order a lot of stuff and it's hard to remember it all correctly.
But why would you have to remember it?
How else am I going to get the order to the kitchen?
Oh boy. Do you not have a notepad? Did they forget to give you one?
Ah!
Jun stares at me with wide open eyes, totally immovable for quite a few seconds. Then, he slowly pulls something out of his pocket. Ugh! Dude, why? Such a dork.
I totally forgot about it.
How the hell do you forget about something that simple? Come on, June. You have to use your head more.
Sorry.
I sigh. I don't whether the fact that I already totally expect things like these from him should make me sad or not. You haven't had any accidents yet, have you? Define accidents. Causing some kind of damage to a person or object. Define damage. Oh no. What the hell did you do?
It wasn't that big of a deal. I just...
What? Did you spill a bowl of soup on a guest? I knew something like that was going to happen sooner or later anyway.
I set a cloth on fire.
You did what?
Nico-san, not so loud.
I could see a few heads turning towards us because of the sudden noise I made. I clear my throat and readjust myself on my seat. I'm afraid of asking, but... How on earth did you accomplish such a feat?
It wasn't my fault.
So, what? The cloth just up and jumped onto an open flame on its own? How exactly would that even work? Isn't the whole kitchen area walled off? How did you even get close enough to a burner to set something on fire?
I guess sent some food back, so I went around the wall to explain to Genichiro-kun what the issue was. The cloth I tucked in the waist of my pants was flapping around a bit, and it caught on one of the burners. I was lucky enough I caught it before it torched my clothes.
There are so many things wrong here, I don't even know where to start. First of all, why did he even have a cloth tucked into his pants? You know what? I'm not opening that can of worms. I just know no matter what question I ask, he'll find a way to surprise me. At least you didn't hurt yourself. That would have been bad.
Yeah, that was why I was a bit late to meet you. I was apologizing to everyone and cleaning up the mess I made.
Oh, I didn't know that. Now I feel kinda bad for grumbling over him being late. Wait, what did you say not to start? Interesting. Think about JoJo songs. So, okay, what was the stream? I thought you were saying what was the Steam, because I did like a Steam video earlier for Lovers of Aether, so it's only been going on for 50 minutes. I did Shoichi's, which was like an hour, like just before it, so not too much. You can always look at that later. So yeah, we hit the 50-minute mark. So yeah, I kind of feel bad for being like that. Even if he's the one who nearly set himself on fire. Are you still going to go back for your next shift considering what happened?
Of course. I took up this job. I have to see it to completion. Even if Ayako-san was trying to convince me that I didn't have to. I get the feeling she might be trying to get rid of me.
Ooh, ouch. If June managed to notice that, then she really must have abandoned all attempts in subtlety. Class rep, I am sorry you have to deal with this. If you dropped out of it, we could spend more time going around the festival and having fun.
Yeah, but then a lot of the other students would have their times arranged. Or would have to have their times rearranged. They would get their break shortened even more. They'd barely have time to enjoy themselves.
I guess that's true.
I'm okay to continue. You don't need to worry about that. All things considered, I'm still having fun.
You nearly turned yourself into a living torch, and you have the guts to tell me you're having fun? Either way, you're lying there is something really wrong with you. And that's coming from me.
Nika-san, you're staring at me with a really scary face right now.
I'm just trying to decide how annoyed I should be right now.
I'm sorry. I swear I'll be more careful.
Oh, you actually knew what I was annoyed over? I'm surprised.
You know, sometimes you seem to have this idea that I'm really stupid for some reason.
I'm gonna pretend I never heard that. By the way, didn't you find it weird that Sora-kun was wearing a hoodie instead of some kind of uniform?
Now you're ignoring me? Anyway, yeah, I noticed that. But if you look around, none of the waiters here are wearing uniforms.
That doesn't make it any less weird. Why would you open a restaurant and not have uniforms?
I don't know, but I kinda like it. It gives the place this casual vibe that looks really comfortable.
They have busts, sculptures, and velvet fabric all over the place in the decor. I'm pretty sure casual isn't what they were going for. Which is exactly why it feels so weird.
You've been here before, right?
Sure have. Why do you ask?
I was just thinking how good the cakes here must be. They're kinda pricey.
They are, aren't they? But they're really good, so I definitely think it's worth it.
I'm glad to hear it. I was a bit worried.
By the way, I tried to pick something I thought you would like for my cheesecake too, so I can give you a few bites. That way, you get to try 2 desserts.
What?
What? Cat got your tongue?
No, it's just... I usually don't like to eat off of other people's plates, but...
But...
I really like strawberries, so I kinda... want to.
I'm glad to hear it. It's why I ordered it, so feel free. Or, it's kind of why I ordered it, so feel free.
I can't believe you remembered I like strawberry.
Well, I can forgive you for not believing it. I do tend to have a bad memory after all.
How did you then?
I'm not sure why it is. Anyway, I just have a really easy time remembering things when they're about you. For some reason, you always stick in my mind. Isn't that weird? Oh god.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Oh, there's Sora. Alright, I'm back. Sorry for the delay. Sora-kun sets the plates neatly in front of us. Even the plates and silverware here are very fancy. Which honestly makes the dress code here feel really weird to me.
Wow, the slices are kind of big.
Yeah, they're pretty generous. Isn't it neat?
It is.
I hope you guys enjoy it. And make sure to call me if you need anything else.
Thank you, Sora-kun.
The panda smiles, nodding. You're welcome. He immediately walks off to go check on other tables. There only seems to be 3 waiters for over 30 tables, so I guess they must be pretty busy. The place isn't so full that there are no open seats, but it's still quite packed. Good for them. They're getting a lot of attention.
Oh,
I turn to look at June and see a look that I can only describe as bliss. He is carefully munching on a piece of his shortcake with a big smile on his face. Oh, how adorable. You liking it? He nods enthusiastically, not even saying a word. How is it?
it's so creamy.
His voice comes out a little higher when I'm used to hearing, and that immediately makes me laugh. I'm glad you like it.
Nico-san, you got to try it.
Well, alright. I'm not gonna say no to that. I reach for my fork, so I take a bite, but before I have the chance to do so, June cuts a piece off with his own and puts his fork in front of my face.
Here.
The gesture catches me off guard for a second. My eyes dart between him and the fork for a few seconds before I shrug and decide to just go with it, biting into the moist cake. I already expected it to be good since I came here yesterday, but the assault of flavors in my mouth is enough to take me by surprise. The cake is moist, creamy, and airy. The strawberry brings just a tiny bit of tartness while the cream is deliciously sweet and light. The cake base itself is surprisingly tender, but also not overly sweet. I was afraid the whole thing would be too sweet when I saw the amount of cream in it, but it's so well balanced it could bring me to tears.
Isn't it great?
It really is. Do you want a bite of mine?
I'd be lying if I said I don't.
I haven't even tasted it myself, but I still cut off a piece with my fork and extended to June, just like he did with me.
Oh.
For some reason, the gesture seems to make him really happy. While I'm still holding the fork, he gingerly leans forward on the table and takes a bite.
Wow, this is so good too.
The tiger puts his left hand on his cheek, chewing in absolute delight. I try my best to stifle a laugh as the whole thing just feels so incredibly silly, but fun at the same time. I'm glad you like it.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Pampering June is so much fun. I need to do it more often. Please come back later. Sora-kun waves us off as we leave the cafe, enthusiastic smile on his face the whole time. For a guy who's supposed to be shy, he didn't do so badly as a waiter.
Well, I'm pretty sure the fact we're familiar faces helped.
You mean the face you're a familiar faced help? Or you mean. Wait, what? You mean the phrase, "you're a familiar face" helped? I don't know. Whatever. June and I both lost track of time while we chatted and ate our desserts. Even something as silly as eating cake can be so much fun. It surprised me.
Thank you for treating me, Miko-san. I had a lot of fun.
I'm glad you did. Is there anything else you want to do?
I don't really know any of the other stalls, so I can't really say.
I guess that's fair. Let me try to think of something.
What time is it anyway?
June pulls his phone out of his pocket. Unlike pretty much most of the people I know, June still uses an old flip phone. Strapped to it are 2 keychains. There it is. One of them is the one we bought yesterday. I guess he didn't waste any time putting it on. The other is the little tiger keychain I gave him when he was still in the hospital. Oh hey, you decided to use these as phone straps instead of keychains?
Huh? Oh, you mean these?
He looks at the back of his phone to the 2 keychains that are now tied to his phone like straps.
I use my phone a lot more often than I do my keys, and I wanted to always be able to see them and remember about them, so I thought that would be a better way to go at it.
Guess you're the sentimental type, huh?
I suppose. I had the little tiger on my keys for a while, for I didn't really like having it there. Mizuguchi-san is the one that gave me the idea of hanging them from my phone. I really liked it, so I did it last night.
Well, so long as you're happy, I'm happy.
I am. Especially with the little tiger. That one is my favorite.
Oh, I thought it'd be the one from the game. Didn't you say you loved the game?
Yeah, I do. But that one is just something I bought for myself. This one is a present you gave me. It's much more precious to me.
Oh, I see. That's pretty nice of you to say, June. He nods enthusiastically, flipping his phone open.
We spent over an hour at the cafe. I have less than 2 hours until my shift starts again.
Oh, that little time?
It's not that bad. Besides, we still have the rest of the festival to spend together.
I guess that's true. What times will you have free tomorrow?
Oh, I won't really have much of a break tomorrow.
What? You're kidding.
We really are strapped for time, we are really strapped for help since most of the class bailed on serving food. Every single one of the waiters is having a day where they have no breaks. Mine is tomorrow.
That's awful. I'm gonna walk up to class rep and Kyoko and give them both a piece of my mind.
Sure, the guy who bailed and is the one of the reasons I have to pull that kind of shift is going to complain that I have to pull that kind of shift. I can already see that going so well.
Oof. Oof, that is a big oof. Why you gotta be killing us like that, June? Sometimes he can have a surprisingly sharp tongue. Sorry.
You don't need to apologize. I'm not complaining. I'm the one who wanted to do this. I just don't want you giving them grief over something they have no power to change. Besides, it would be a bit hypocritical. Well, a lot hypocritical.
Right. I didn't think of it from that scenario.
Well, you do have a tendency not to.
Hey!
What? I'm just saying.
You're lucky you're cute, otherwise I'd give you a piece of my mind too. There we go.
I'm not.
Sorry, that flimsy little retort isn't going to change my mind. I wonder where we could go right now. I know there's a second year class that is putting on a play. Maybe we could watch that.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun.
But they only do it 3 times a day, and I think the afternoon one is already underway. The next one would only be during the night.
Oh,
How about we go watch it later? You're gonna have a break during the last day of the festival, right?
Yeah, I'll get off right after lunchtime and won't have to go in anymore.
Or, oh, I thought he was having a mad face, so.
Yeah, I'll get off right after lunchtime and won't have to go in anymore.
Yeah, every single stall is gonna be closed for the bonfire and the fireworks show.
I can't wait for the fireworks.
we have to see if we can get everyone together for it.
I want to go watch it from the roof.
His eyes are nearly sparkling as he says that. His tail is lashing wildly behind him. I guess the idea must have him really excited. Why the roof?
I want to watch it from the highest place possible so I'll have the best view.
Oh, is that why? Bad news for you though. The roof is kept locked during the festival to avoid any students slipping off to go there.
What?
The school had lots of issues with students going upstairs in droves with plates of food and whatnot and just leaving them scattered around, so they started locking it. This was before I even started going here. Must have been a while ago.
Oh, I really wanted to go see it from the roof.
Maybe Shoichi could get me a key. I don't know. I'll see what I can do.
Really?
I just said that I'm gonna see what I can do. I don't know that I'll be able to.
Yay, I'm counting on you, Nico-san.
You didn't hear a single word I just said, did you? Well, worst comes to worst, I'll try to learn how to pick a lock with a paper clip, I guess. How hard can it be? I'll just practice on an old padlock until I get it. Hopefully I won't need to do it, though. Anyway, how about we go walk by the courtyard and see what other displays they have?
Yeah!
He nods emphatically, almost jumping on the spot. His excess energy whenever he's happy or excited really gives me life. Seeing him like that makes my day. Let's see. I seem to recall a few students doing an open air flower garden. Might not be much, but you might like seeing and smelling the flowers.
Ooh, that sounds great.
Almost everything sounds great to you, though. A few hours later. As much as I love the school festival, the constant noise and always being surrounded by so many people gives me a headache. As soon as I arrive home, I flop down onto my bed and just let myself be lazy there for a few minutes. I hope June is doing okay. It seemed like the festival got more and more crowded as the hours went by. Just to make sure, I'll shoot him a message. Hey, how was your second shift?
Hopefully no more accidents. Ha ha ha. Just checking up to see how you're doing. Message me when you can. Oh, he answered right away.
I'm helping them clean up here before going home. It was pretty okay. I had another rude customer today, which kind of sucked though.
Oh no. Was he really nasty to you?
Kinda. But then Ayako-san yelled him out of the room. After that, word kind of spread and everyone was in their best behavior, lol.
I can totally picture class rep doing something like that. That's a very scary thought, actually. I've been streaming for an hour and 9 minutes now, so
Yeah. I did a Shuichi one before that. That was an hour and 8 minutes too, so
yeah, probably will be streaming for another hour, or at least until day 19 ends. So, I'm glad things went better. Just take care of yourself going home. I got back a few minutes ago and have just been lazing in bed.
I wouldn't mind having a soft bed to lie on. Nico-san, your house is closer than mine. Let me use yours.
I snigger reading that one message. I just picked June acting like a house cat and kicking me out of my bed so he can have it all by himself. I don't really feel like sleeping on the floor, so I'll have to pass. Oh no. That's a big oof.
Aw, we could have just shared.
My eyes shoot open as soon as I read the message and look at it for a few seconds, not knowing how to respond. As soon as I prepare myself to respond, I receive another one.
Oh, Kyoko-san is giving me the evil eye because I'm texting, lol. I'll talk to you later.
I decide to just toss my phone to the bed and roll to the other side. No! Before I notice it, sleep begins to wash over like countless waves. Oh, we screwed up. Oh no. I don't know if we were gonna end up getting to sleep with him. Yawning, I decide to take off my shirt and just go to sleep. That makes me cry over Tim. I'm sorry, guys, if that was a wrong, if I made a wrong decision somehow back. So, kind of bummed. I feel like maybe if we went further with interrogating June on like the character select days, maybe we would have gotten it. But I tried my best. So once again, I am standing outside of my own classroom, waiting around for a certain tiger to appear. Here we go, the big day, day 19. And once again, as is usual, he is late. Please tell me he didn't cause another accident today. My attention is immediately snapped back to reality when Jun's rotund figure appears by the door. He shuts it behind his back before leaning back on it and sighing deeply. Is everything okay? The little tiger looks up at me with a weary expression, not even at all fazed by my appearance.
Hey, Nico-san. Yeah, I'm fine.
You sure? You don't look fine. He lifts his head up to chest height, waving it dismissively.
Yeah, I'm just tired, that's all. Doing this stuff for 4 days kinda takes it out of you.
How come you were late again today? You didn't get into another accident, did you?
No, my replacement was late, so I had to stick around until he arrived, because I couldn't leave the place short-staffed.
Come to think of it, I did see one of our classmates walk into the restaurant with a waiter uniform. I guess that explains that. What did you want to take some time to just breathe and relax before we set out?
Could we? That would be great.
Yeah, if he's actually agreeing with my idea of resting, then I know he's really exhausted. June, don't push yourself so hard, okay? Knowing him, I can almost guarantee he will eventually. Honestly, he's more stubborn than the proverbial mule. It really makes me want to give him a good, firm kick to the ass sometimes.
By the way, Nico-san, do you have any idea what you want us to do today?
Yep, I have a few things planned out, I have a few things planned out that I think you'll like.
Like what?
Well, we already agreed that we wanted to see that play the second years are putting on. I passed by there yesterday and got a brochure with the times and explaining the play itself.
Ooh, that's interesting.
I didn't even tell you what it's about yet. How are you already thinking it's interesting?
I'm sure I'll find it interesting anyway.
Anyway, I also checked and saw that the video game club set up an arcade, so we can go check that out.
An arcade? How did they even manage to do that?
You have no idea. I have no idea. Maybe they rented a few machines for the day. I have no idea. Maybe they rented a few machines for the day. All I know is that people have been saying they have quite a few good games, so we can go try that.
Yeah, it sounds really fun.
Before I noticed it, I had put my hand on top of Jun's head and began calmly petting like that. What am I saying? Before I noticed it, I had put my head on top of Jun's head and began calmly petting like that was the most normal thing in the world. Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
You look like you've perked up quite a bit already.
I have. How about we go to the arcade?
All this because you want to play games?
Well, the brochure you gave me says the play won't start for a few hours from now, so it's not like we have anything else to do.
I suppose that's a good point. Alright, follow me and try not to get swept up by the sea of people on the floors below. If you think it's packed here, wait till you see the downstairs.
I suppose it's too much to hope that there won't be any people at the arcade.
Yep, it most certainly is.
Aww.
Alright, at least we don't... Or is it gonna be loud arcade music? Oh yeah, this ain't the loud arcade music. This ain't gonna be like the 8-bit Justin Bieber crap. I am done with that stuff. This arcade music is actually good though, so... The two of us walk into the dimly lit room. Immediately, we see a multitude of colorful flashing lights coming from the myriad of machines spread around the place in the neat lines. The place is far more packed than I thought it'd be, with barely any room to maneuver by the entrance. I guess that's because there is only one very narrow door to the function as both an entrance and exit. And they even have the single cash register right next to the door, with a smallish looking stoat standing in front of it, frantically doing many tasks all at once, serving the ever-growing line of customers. Considering her height, I guess the girl is a middle schooler, but since I know a thing is pretty impossible, maybe she's a freshman? Come on, June. I feel a tight squeeze around my arm, and without even having to turn to look, I already groan in exasperation. Can't you try to hold it together for just a little bit? The entrance might be packed, but the place looks okay by the machines. We'll be out of the mob's hair in just a few. Nope. No response at all. Yeah, his brain is shut off pretty good again. It's been a while since he's done this too. I guess hope his experience with the festival had made him improve at dealing with crowds was just a pipe dream. I try to ignore the shivering turquins I have wrapped like a vice around my arm as I stand in line. Or trinket. It's trinket. So, soon I can feel some slight tingling that continues to grow more and more as time goes by. Yep, it's official. I can't feel my arm. And I might need a crowbar to pry this tiger away from me when we're finished. The sad part is, this kind of stuff doesn't even faze me anymore. Just another day in my life as I deal with June.
Good afternoon. How may I help you?
The stoat girl looks up at us with an uneasy smile once our turn finally rolls around. I can barely make out her features very well considering the darkness in the room, but I have a feeling that her eyes are a deep amber. Hi, me and my friend want to buy a few tokens for games.
Oh, we don't actually use tokens. We use cards.
She opens a drawer underneath her register and pulls out a credit card looking plastic thingy that has a magnetic bar on the back, gesturing to it with a smile.
See, we load credits into the cards and every machine has a card reader that debits them when swiped.
How the hell did you guys manage to get all this set up? My class barely even managed to clear through enough of a budget to get gas burners for their restaurant. The girl's smile becomes a little more open at my question. She adjusts herself where she stands and clears her throat.
You see, the video game club is one of our most popular in school. Every year we make a lot of different highly profitable displays and use the funds from those to bolster our budgets for the next year. That way, our members can always have the best experiences possible during the festival and everyone gets to have fun. Isn't it great?
Huh. I don't even remember seeing the video game club events for the past 2 years. Guess I wasn't paying much attention. Her shoulders sag at my apparent lack of enthusiasm as she stares up at me with a furrowed eyebrow. I see. Anyway, how much is a session in each of the machines? However quickly her disappointment came, she put herself back together just as quickly and was back to her professional demeanor in no time, straightening her back and clearing her throat once more.
Each play session ranges from 150 to 400 yen, but it depends on what machine you're looking to see or use.
That's a little pricier than a regular arcade, but then again, I imagine it couldn't have been cheap to rent all these machines for the duration of the festival. She smiles and nods, not saying another word to my statement. Okay, I'll take a card for me and one for my friend. Load them up with about 2,000 yen each. That should be enough. Let me just warn you that if you don't finish spending all the money before you leave, you'll still be asked to return the card and it will be wiped clear of any funds. Sure, that's fine. Could you please hurry up? I can't really feel my left arm anymore. Hang on. Let me just try to get my wallet here. I awkwardly attempt to fish my wallet out of my pocket with my right hand. The girl, who seemed to have not noticed June this entire time, finally lays eyes on the shaking tiger and gasps. Is he okay? That's debatable. He always gets like this in the middle of big crowds. Hey, Earth to June, can you let go of my arm? I kinda need it right now. Nope, no response. Oh man, this is much more troublesome than I thought it would be. Why do I always end up having to go be the victim of June's panic attacks? Even when we're hanging out as a group, it's always my arm that ends up being attacked. At this rate, I'm going to end up traumatized. Hey June, I really don't want to be rough with you, but I'm having a really hard time getting my wallet, and I can't feel any blood circulation to my arm anymore. No dice. He continues to cling to my arm, shaking like one of those vibrating back massagers you can buy for a few bucks on a random street vendor. Alright, just for the record, I didn't want to have to resort to this. Resort to what? With my free hand, I pinched June's nose. Since his mouth is acting as if it were welded shut, he won't be able to breathe if I do this. Wait, isn't that a bit... June lunges away from me and to the side, taking a deep breath as he comes back to his senses. What are you doing, Nico-san? Are you trying to kill me? I'm trying to wake you. Just go stand by the machines before you shut down again. But... Just do what I'm telling you. I already can't feel my arm. I don't need you latching to me again. Sorry. He walks away dragging his feet, looking incredibly crestfallen. By how dramatic he's being, a random bystander might think I just called him some of the most horrible insults known to man. That was, surreal. The girl looks between the two of us with wide open eyes, clearly not used to seeing this degree of craziness in her everyday life. No, the sad part is that in reality, that it really, really wasn't. Sorry, huh? But I already deal with this on a daily basis. This sort of thing doesn't get to me anymore. I clumsily managed to scoop my wallet out of my pocket, given that my arm's range of movement is severely impaired. It's tingling so much right now. Such a weird feeling. Here you go. Sorry about the trouble. She nods politely, hesitantly taking the money I hand to her. She scans the 2 cards by her machine and quickly hands them back to me with another measured smile. Thank you. I hope you'll enjoy your stay. I nod and flash her a smile, walking off towards the rows of machines and looking for June. I finally spot him watching another person playing an old 16-bit. The machine had a second control station, probably so it could allow for 2 players. In the game, an oddly skimpily dressed soldier would walk through a side-scrolling map while shooting a horde of weird-looking alien things and picking power-ups for his weapons. The guy playing the game seemed to be pretty good at it because the amount of projectiles flying at him was nothing short of insane, and yet he would dodge all of them. Ducking, jumping, sliding, all sorts of gravity-defying maneuvers were executed to allow him to dodge the barrage of bullets. But eventually, one bullet just slightly grazed him, and that caused his character to immediately explode into a 16-bit gore fest. Yikes.
Ah, Nika-san.
June finally seemed to notice my presence. He was probably too engrossed in the game to care before. The boy playing got up from the machine without another word and walked off, stomping on his way out, clearly frustrated. This one's got your attention?
Yeah, I played it before. Although it was the console version, which isn't all that great in my opinion.
Really? Why not?
It doesn't allow for 2 players. It's pretty laggy. It sometimes has trouble rendering all the bullets on screen, meaning you get hit by invisible ones.
Oh, that does sound pretty terrible.
Yeah, it's kind of a mess. I never played the arcade version of it. Can we give it a try? It allows for 2 players.
Sure, what's the game called anyway?
The name is Dune Wolf.
Oh my god! Why?
I see what you did there, Basket.
It's like at first I'm like, do they even know each other? And then they started doing this with each other. Man, they've been really back and forth.
The name is Dune Wolf. You play as a duo of veteran soldiers in the middle of a war somewhere in the place with a deep jungle before the Earth gets invaded by aliens and you have to find back.
That doesn't really make much sense.
The game is from the 80s, so you shouldn't expect a marvel of storytelling from it.
I'm surprised you can say that with a straight face when you love games so much.
Just because I love them doesn't mean you can't be realistic about their issues. Games a few years back really sucked in terms of story. Hell, I once played an RPG where the only line of dialogue in the whole game was in the very opening sequence where the king just said, "Oh no, the princess was taken, please save her," and that was it. That's
not very good.
Yeah.
to say the least.
I did the 10 minutes of research for June's Arcana, and the fool is more likely Arcana based on personalities.
Oh, talking about JoJo stuff again. Never mind.
The soundtrack was pretty good though, considering it was an 8-bit game.
You always have comments on game soundtracks, don't you?
Yeah, it's my favorite thing to pay attention to.
Do you have any idea what kind of company you'd work for once you got a job as a composer?
I don't even know if I'd get one. It's not a sure thing by any definition of the word.
Oh, come on. You've got so much talent. Sure you will.
Even if that's true, just having talent isn't enough. You need a lot of luck to make do in a highly competitive environment. Sometimes the most talented people get passed over.
That's a really pessimistic view on things, June.
I'm just being realistic. Sometimes, even if you have a lot of talent, you might just lack in interpersonal skills, or you might not have many connections. It takes a lot of luck to be successful. Just being talented won't be enough.
Agree or disagree?
I feel like we should disagree.
What's wrong? You're making a weird face.
Oh, you can tell, huh? June cocks his head to the side, eyeing me with suspicion. It's just, I can't bring myself to agree with you there. Nina-san, just hear me out, okay? If we're speaking logically, then maybe you might be right, but I just don't like the thought process, you know? To me, it just sounds like you're admitting defeat even before it happens. It sounds like you're preparing yourself to lose even before you do, so as to soften the blow.
Oh my god, that's so relatable though to what I did.
That's how I've gone through most of my volleyball career, and that's kind of why I didn't get to where I expected myself to be. So, if people are talking about, oh, regrets, then I guess that's it, but yeah. If you come into things thinking, oh, I'm gonna expect the worst, I'm gonna get totally destroyed, don't think like that. Like, just come in thinking, I'm just gonna do what I can, rather than I'm the worst case scenario of I'm gonna lose. Like,
Don't expect yourself to lose.
just, just don't really think. Just be like, I'm just here to do what I can, just do my thing. So, I like this logic.
That way, when things finally go wrong, you can say, oh well, there was nothing I could do about that. I don't like it. You're convincing yourself it's okay to fail instead of trying your hardest.
Miko-san.
Of course, you probably don't need to hear this from me. No one knows your future career better than you do, so I'm probably just an idiot who knows nothing and is disagreeing out of principle.
Not at all. I really appreciate it.
You do?
Yeah, it makes me really happy to know you care so much about it. This might be silly, but it kind of gives me a confidence boost.
Without saying a word, I reach for the top of his head again, petting him, the tiger, and scritching his chin leisurely. Scritching. I feel a pleasant vibration on his neck as I continue to do it, which just makes me want to keep going. Crap, I really shouldn't be doing things like this in public.
By the way, did you get the tokens so we can play?
Oh, right. June snaps me back to reality, and I dig into my pockets for the 2 plastic cards I was given. Here you go. I've loaded 2,000 yen on each of these, so we should be able to play for a while.
Ooh, I've never been to a place that used cards before.
They're pretty common in commercial arcades nowadays, but I didn't think they'd use them in this one.
I guess you can tell I haven't been to an arcade in a few years, huh?
Just a little. We both swipe our cards into the player 1 and player 2 slots. The screen exits its little demo video. And immediately blinks into a game start screen. The two of us are immediately dropped into a thick jungle, and there are already multiple pea-sized bullets being shot at us by a group of soldiers hiding under bushes. They're in the trees! Oh god, they're in the trees! Wow, this game is wasting no time in trying to kill us, huh?
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, this was considered one of the most difficult games of the 80s. It gobbled coins like no one's business.
What? Almost as if on cue, as soon as June says those words, an enemy shoots a mortar at the two of us. June expertly jumps to the edge of the screen, narrowly dodging it by a few pixels. As for me, I get immediately blown up to bits. Literally to bits, since this is a 16-bit game. Clever joke, I know. What the hell?
Careful, Nico-san. You only have 3 lives per player. If you lose all of them, you'll have to pay more.
I look down at the little display on the card reader where it says 300 yen per session. This thing is freaking expensive for a game that can kill you just like that.
Nico-san, pay attention to the game.
I nearly dodged another barrage of bullets shot at me. June's character is darting around the screen, dodging everything that is thrown at him and massacring the enemy forces. Since this game is a side-scroller, we can only move forward if I'm with him. I can quickly tell that I'm slowing him down. June can somehow make progress really fast in this thing, killing most of the enemies with expert precision. Meanwhile, it takes every bit of my well-trained reflexes just to avoid enemy fire. How are you doing all of this?
I played this game so much when I was little that I memorized a lot of the enemy placements.
You're kidding me.
Careful, on the next screen, there'll be an enemy helicopter flying overhead and dropping lots of bombs. You have to shoot up to destroy it and dodge all the normal enemy units at the same time.
As soon as we cross some sort of invisible finish line, a sequence plays out where the giant helicopter that fills all of the horizontal space of the screen appears, just like June said. A character with a cartoonishly big head sits at the cockpit. He looks down at us and laughs before bombs begin to drop. Immediately, June is rolling and jumping around, dodging every single one of those and firing at the chopper. As for me, what? I get blown up for the second time in less than 3 minutes.
Be careful, you only have 1 life left. The boss tends to be really good at sucking credits out of the new players.
You don't say. God, I feel absolutely useless. As soon as I respawn, I begin trying to mimic June's movements, trying desperately to stay alive. Which, by the way, is much easier said than done. I think I counted less than 40 seconds before I was blown up again.
Nico-san.
Sorry, I guess I kinda suck at this. Man, I don't think I've ever sucked so bad at a game before.
I'll just let him kill me and so we can go play something else.
No, you don't need to do that. Just have fun playing the game. I'll watch.
You sure?
Even though he keeps looking between me and the game, he continues to expertly dodge and fire at the same time. It's like this is super easy for him. Man, I know June is good at games, but this is kinda ridiculous. Just how often did you play this thing?
I think this is the only game I owned for over a year when I was so small, so I played it every day.
I don't know whether I should be sad or impressed. Eventually, Jun's efforts pay off as the helicopter begins to systematically explode. The pixely pilot turns to look at the screen with a look of terror before the whole thing finishes blowing up, taking him with it. This game definitely isn't ashamed about its own violence, huh?
And that's what makes it fun. It's just silly, fast-paced gaming.
I'm not sure if I'd call it fun. Stressful, sure. Not fun. Let's see how long you can last on your own. I continue to stand behind him, watching him massacre waves of enemies all by himself through multiple stages.
I don't even know how much of the time was spent watching him, although I'm somewhat dimly aware of the fact that he hasn't even died once yet. Seriously, how are you doing this? Your dodges are all pixel perfect. That's ridiculous.
I had a lot of practice after all.
How many levels does this thing even have? As Jun continued to play, I had noticed that each level got more and more bizarre. From a thick, densely packed jungle to a forward enemy base in a clearing to a boat level to a marine base. Then the aliens hit, the water turned purple, the skies darkened, hordes of weird flying things began to attack from above. I kind of lost count of how many weird enemy types kept appearing, but Jun apparently had all of them memorized.
I'm on level 6 now. This game has 10 levels. It probably won't last much longer.
You played over half of the game without dying once? Are you kidding me?
I'm pretty good at it, aren't I?
You are, and definitely not humble about it either. Although after seeing just how easily this game kicked my ass, I guess he's entitled to feel proud of himself for it. That guy had been playing before us seemed to be quite a few levels behind where Jun is now. Ah! Then it happens. A single bullet barely grazes the foot of Jun's character mid-jump, and that causes him to explode.
Damn it, that's one.
I'm surprised it's only been just one. There are so many bullets flying by the screen now that I can't even keep track of where they're coming from. He must have some really good hand-eye coordination. During the next level, Jun is suddenly sucked into what I assume is the alien mothership. He fights a bunch of frog-like things with cannons strapped to their backs. They jump around in weird patterns and spray bullets in circles that fly all over the screen. Just watching all of them on screen is already starting to make me feel sick. Jun dies for the second time there. Just like before, he gets barely grazed by a bullet that causes his character to die. I have to say, for a veteran soldier, this character doesn't seem to be very resistant to anything really. Like, a bullet just hit your toe, dude. You don't need to explode because of that. Jun somehow gets past this level. There were so many times where I thought he was a goner, but he clung to that last life.
Ah, level 9, just a bit more.
His face was scrunched up in a look of frustration as he continued to mash the buttons on the machine. Jun was leaning so far forward on his chair that he was almost touching the screen with his forehead. Careful, you're gonna hurt your eyes like that.
Shh, not now.
He, of course, brushed me aside completely. Ah! Jun jumps back in the seat as his character is hit for the third time. Once he explodes again, the entire screen is tinted red. The words "Goom over" flashing brightly on the display in English. My guess is that whoever translated this wasn't doing a very good job. But then again, games back then had a ton of translation issues, so I guess I'll let that slide. All your base are belong to us.
Oh, I was so close this time.
Sorry you didn't make it.
Ooh, let me try again.
I stop him before he can swipe the card on the machine.
Hey!
How about we try some of the other games instead?
Boo!
Booing me isn't going to change anything. I didn't come here just to watch you play.
Fine.
Reluctantly, Jun steps away from the machine. We take a few rounds of the room,
Looking at any interesting games we might find. What's this thing? or Adurmaker? What kind of game is this? Adurmaker? Adurmaker? What the hell is that?
Oh, that's a musical game. You make pick girls to make an idol group, and then you choose their training routines, their songs, their costumes, stuff like that.
Who would play this kind of thing? Ryuji, probably.
These songs are really nice, though.
Yeah, no, not my thing. Most of the games here seem to be pretty old. I wonder why that is.
They're all very popular, vintage machines. If you take a close look, you'll see that they're the machines with the players. People are lining up for a few of them.
Sheesh, so much excitement just for a bunch of old games.
Some people really like the classics, okay?
Alright, calm down. No need to blow a gasket over this.
Mika-san, you can be so insensitive with other people's interests sometimes.
Hey, oh, I used to play this game as a kid too. He cuts me off mid-sentence, hopping towards a nearby machine and examining it with great enthusiasm. Why do I even bother? We do a few rounds across the place, blowing most of our credits on a multitude of games. Outside of a light gun game called Time Fortune, that was pretty fine. I can tell it was a game from the early 90s just by seeing how bad the 3D graphics were, but it was still pretty fun. We should still have enough credits for one more game, I suppose.
Do you see any that you want to play? I kinda just dragged us around everywhere and forced you to watch me play a bunch.
I still had fun anyway.
Maybe, but it would still make me feel better if you could pick something this time.
Alright, sure. I saw a few that I think we could play together. I'll just choose one of them.
Sure, which one?
I think over my options for a second, trying to decide which one to play. If I were going by names alone, I wouldn't pick either of these. They're so bad. But the gameplay on them seemed pretty interesting, and according to June, they are cult classics, so I guess I should give one of them a try. Still, what is it about 80s and 90s games that makes most of them have terrible titles? It's like someone mistranslated them so badly and no one had the heart to correct them. Well, no point overthinking this. The game I'll pick is Abode of the No Longer Living, Boot of the Southern Celestial Body, Buildings and People, Underground Structure of Blessing. These are some weird names. I'd probably go with the first one. That's just my opinion. So, yeah, I don't know. So somebody voted for 2. So Keibu says Boot of the Southern Celestial Body. Anybody else have a vote? Alright, let me get a sip of water first. A bunch of 2s and an exclamation point. Interesting. So everybody here wants 2. 1 is House of the Dead, right? Yeah, it's probably gonna be House of the Dead. House of the Dead first choice. Second one, I don't know. Buddha of the Southern Celestial Body. I don't know what that one would be. A lot of votes for 2, though. And the third game is Dungeons and Dragons, I guess. I don't know. I don't know, and 1 maybe? Hurry and pick, I don't have much data. Fine, I'll hurry. We're gonna go with Boot of the Southern Celestial Body. This one seems interesting. It's a licensed game based on a popular anime from the 80s. I remember watching reruns of this. Although I can remember of it is that a lot of people kept dying in it. I'm honestly surprised Mom let me watch this as a kid. How about this? It brings back a few childhood memories.
Ooh, this one is pretty cool.
I never played it before, but from the demo videos on the screen, it looks like a reskinned generic beat 'em up.
Pretty much. It's still really fun though.
Yeah? Have you played it before?
The console version of it, yeah.
This has a console version?
Yeah, the frame rate is worse, but they fixed a lot of translation issues.
Translations issues? Is it that bad?
Well...
June takes a card from my hand and swipes it into the machine. Immediately it begins to play an interesting, complete with many drawings of the characters talking. The protagonist, Jugimu, right? Jugimu stares at his opponent who stands on a pile of garbage. The man points down the imposing lead and his dialogue appears on the screen. All your base are belong to us, Jugimu. I knew it, that's where it was from! I was like, I know this is from something! I know it's from something. So... Yep, I guess I was foreshadowing. Yeah. The very first line of the game is mistranslated.
Yeah. It gets worse.
Oh boy, this is gonna be awful, isn't it? Sometime later... Interesting. June is humming the melody from one of the games he played, cheerfully making gestures with his fingers as he bops along to it. He's probably in his best mood since the start of the day. And considering how tired he was when we first met, that really makes me glad. Oh, we need to hurry if we want to catch that play. It starts in 20 minutes.
Okay.
Despite what I just said, he doesn't show the last read that line. Despite what I just said, he doesn't show the last bit of rush in getting there. He keeps walking at a leisurely pace, slowly making his way through the sea of people populating the hallway. At least he's not freaking out on me, but I wish he had some sense of urgency. June. We really need to hurry.
Gotcha.
The tiger continues to hum, walking at a snail's pace. Did he get slower? June, we're gonna miss the play.
Understood.
There is no break in his humming. He continues to cheerfully and without a care in the world sing away as if he had infinite time at his disposal. Walking slowly to match his speed is starting to get on my nerves because I don't want to end up missing the damn thing because of this. June.
Yeah?
Walk faster! I lean onto his ear and shout loudly onto it, causing him to jump back in surprise and stare at me with super wide open eyes. He nearly knocked someone down doing it too. I have to admit, it's kind of funny.
What's the big idea?
I'm telling you to walk faster. We'll miss the play if you keep walking at this snail's pace.
But
what? Is something the matter?
my feet kinda hurt.
Come on, let's find some place to sit down. We don't need to watch the play.
No, but I want to watch it. I just don't want to have to run there.
How much do your feet hurt?
I've been running around quite a bit these past few days, so... kind of a lot.
Well, you are out of shape. This kind of thing is to be expected. But I'm not heartless enough to tell him that to his face. What do you want to do? If we keep going at this pace, there's no way we'll be able to get to the other building in time.
I can make it. I'll just have to suck it up a little bit.
What should I do? I think we should miss the play. Just come on, it's June. We don't want to hurt him. So, what game was I talking about? Yeah, I think Damu was right. I think it was Zeroing. I don't know the actual game itself. I just remember all the memes and stuff for it. So yeah, I would not go to the play. Just so we can make sure June doesn't suck things up and feel like he's in pain. This is such a tough decision. I really feel like if we rest, though, it's a much better choice. Go watch the play, you'll love it. Okay. So we got 3 for rest and 2 for don't miss. Not going there, it's June. He is okay. Hurry. Alright, we're kind of split now. Oh, hi, noisy boy. Glad to see you here. Rest, rest. Don't miss. Don't miss. Go to the play. I feel like you guys are saying, like, with don't miss, then I feel like there's something wrong if we miss the play. Does anybody know if it's wrong if we rest? This is such a split decision. I'm surprised you guys are like so in the middle on this. I'd feel like resting would be the inherent decision, but I don't know if June's gonna be salty. So I'm just gonna rest. Wait. Like, nobody's giving me a reason, so yeah, I'm probably gonna just rest then. After taking so much time to choose. So I'm telling you, missing is a cute scene. Play is a funny one. Okay. Nothing bad happens if you rest, so come on, let's just look for a little quiet place for us to sit down. Oh, I'm surprised nothing bad would happen either way. So,
What? But what about the play?
I'm not gonna make you run around campus when you're in pain.
I'm fine, I can deal with it. Come on, didn't you want to watch the play?
Honestly, I just want to spend time with you. I don't really care if we miss it or not.
Ah,
June looks away from me, his face turning quite a bit red. I don't quite know why, but I do really dig this reaction. He looks pretty cute when he's blushing.
where do you want to go?
I have some idea. Follow me. I grab him by the arm and lead him away with me. We got on the roof! Yes! It takes me a few tries, but I finally managed to get through the door lock. This is probably one of the stupidest things I ever did, but I have to admit, I like the rush from it.
How did you do that? You just picked a lock.
Yep, it wasn't as hard as I thought it'd be. Kind of fun, even.
Aren't you going to get in trouble because of it?
It's not like they have cameras here. They won't even know we were here.
Are you sure? It can't be that easy.
Oh, but it is, little one.
I'm not little.
I don't know. You're kinda little. June walks up close to me, standing on tiptoes to try to look at me face to face.
Nuh-uh. Look, I'm almost as tall as you are.
Sure you are. I begin to pet him again. For some reason, it kind of relaxes me. June immediately melts down to my hand, purring. Ooh, this is so good. His face is so red, and yet he doesn't seem to care one bit. It's really cute. You liking that? Please don't ever stop. That's gonna be hard. I'll need bathroom breaks and food. That can be arranged. His knees start shaking a little, which is when I know it's time to stop.
Oh, why did you stop?
Because I didn't want you to fall to the floor when your knees buckled.
That wasn't going to happen.
Sure, no way it was.
Come on, Nico-san. Please pet me more.
Oh my god, you're being so needy and demanding right now.
I don't mind it, even if it's with you.
Alright, fine. But at least sit first. I don't want your knees to just give way.
Okay.
June quickly lies down on the floor. Guess he decided to go a bit further than what I asked. Not that I'll complain, since I do nap up here quite often anyway. I lie down on my side next to him, being able to see his face quite clearly. He still has his eyes closed, but as soon as my hand touches him, he moves his head towards my hand. It's all very cute and relaxing. Soon, he's purring again. He's so easy to please. If this is all he needs to be happy and content, then I guess he would be a very, very low maintenance boyfriend. To someone. I don't know why I just thought of that. June continues to nuzzle against my hand. I have to admit, walking around for the past few days has left me a bit more tired than I thought. I'm so comfortable right now that I'm starting to feel drowsy. I try to will myself into staying awake, but the sound of the wind and June's purring slowly erodes at my wakefulness. My eyes start to blink a little slower with each passing second. I shift around a few times, feeling a cold, hard floor under me. When my eyes open, I immediately see the night sky. I lie still for a few seconds, absorbing the view and trying to remember where I am. Then, as a jolt of realization runs through me, I sit up with a jump. When I look to the side, I see June eyeing me with a bit of surprise. Probably because of the sudden movement.
Oh, Nika-san, you're awake.
When did I fall asleep?
A few minutes after we got here.
Oh, shoot, I misread that line.
A few minutes after we got here. I've just been enjoying some quiet time while I waited for you to wake up.
Ugh, you should have woken me up instead.
I didn't want to. You looked like you really needed your sleep.
Whether I did or not is irrelevant. You still should have woken me up.
Isn't it beautiful?
I follow his gaze and take in the view of the sky myself. It sure is.
I'm glad you managed to get us here. Even if you did have to pick the lock.
It's one more experience that I can say I had in the future.
I probably wouldn't tell people about this. Who knows? You might be arrested.
I doubt someone would immediately call the cops on me because I told them I picked a lock back in high school.
Fair enough.
Oh my god, it's so beautiful. That is such a good art. His fur's just flowing in the wind. Oh my god. June leans back on the ground, his eyes sparkling with the light of the stars. For some reason, I seem to be more interested in watching him than I do in the sky. I never really stopped to think this before, but June is a pretty handsome guy. I know I call him cute all the time, but this feels somehow different. It's weird. I'm not really sure why that is. I'm confused over my own thoughts, and that's not something I like.
By the way, what time is it, Nico-san?
Let me check. Oh, the fireworks should be starting any time now.
Good. That means we're right on time.
Yeah, it does. The two of us stare at the sky in silence. The distant, cheerful voices of the other students and guests attending the festival can be heard down by the courtyard. But up here, the one sound that is most distinguishable is that of the wind. I always find it a bit weird how there always seems to be a breeze up here. Pleasant, but still weird. I'd never come up here in the middle of the night before, so the wind is a tad more chilly than I thought it would be. Man, I wish I had worn something a little warmer. Probably shouldn't go out in nothing but a tank top. I look good in a tank top, though. Makes me look sexy. June chuckles, his voice carrying softly along with the wind.
Yeah, I guess you do. Although, to be honest, you look good regardless of what you're wearing anyway.
So beautiful. June isn't even looking at me right now. That's a good thing because I wouldn't want him to see my cheeks searing hot from that compliment. Damn, what's the matter with me?
This actually.
Just then, June's voice is cut off by the pop of a firework. Oh, that is beautiful. Our eyes are immediately dragged upwards and we see the first one appear in the sky. A neon green explosion that fills our view with a beautiful stroke of color. Then, more and more fireworks begin to pop, one after the other. Soon, the sky turns into a giant canvas on which all these vibrant colors are displayed. They appear, they shine brightly, and then they disappear, never to be seen again. Wow. I never watched a fireworks display from this high up before. It's truly mesmerizing. What do you think, June? I turned to look at him, only to see the light of the fireworks reflecting in his eyes. For some reason, my breath is taken away. I stare at his figure slack-jawed. The fireworks that are shooting up and illuminating the sky are all around us, providing a beautiful scenery on the background, as well as a beautiful line on him. For what I think is the first time ever, my chest suddenly feels so tight. I feel like words won't come to me. While he's looking at us, June turns to look at me, those beautiful brown eyes sparkling so full of colors.
Did you say something?
He sounds so much more peaceful and subdued than I'm used to seeing him. He's so calm. I forced myself to close my mouth, swallowing a few times before shaking my head in negative. I don't know how much time has already passed as I completely lost track of it. I continue to stare into June's eyes, not wanting to look away. I feel so warm. I don't get it. The fireworks subside, leaving only June's careful gaze pointed right at me. I was gonna mention how the fireworks were beautiful. June nodded, his face maddeningly blank for someone usually so energetic. In fact, his gaze almost looked distant. Like he was here, but at the same time, not.
Yeah, you look beautiful with the fireworks shining on you too, Nico.
The words he said just now, they are incredibly close to the ones I myself was thinking just a while ago. What? Me?
Nico, I like you.
Well, of course I like you too. He slowly shakes his head sideways.
Not as a friend.
As a man.
Romantically.
That's it. The thin line that was still keeping my mind sane and capable of functioning completely snaps. My mouth opens wide and I just stare in shock, with without saying a word. Jun looks at me like that for a few moments, carefully, studying me. Say something. Jun slowly stands up, looking at me with a now empty expression. Please, anything. Move. Yeah, this is about what I expected anyway. I feel as if I were watching my own body from far away. As if I were looking at the person right in front of me from someone else's eyes. No matter how much I try to will myself, my body absolutely refuses to respond. It just stands there, frozen in shock. Uselessly. Please forget I ever said anything, okay? No. Asking me to forget is a little impossible. Jun slowly walks away. Inside my mind, I scream at myself to do something. Anything. But my body remains completely still. I don't even know what I want to do. What should I even say? That's too much. So out of the blue, it's too much. I don't understand. I hear the sound of a door closing from far away, but I still don't turn to look. How do I respond? Isn't it too late to respond? What am I doing? Why am I feeling so conflicted? Why don't I know what I want?
Oh my god.
At some point, I become aware that my mind is completely shut down. I can hear the sound of steps. Somehow, I know they're mine, but I'm not even aware where I started to walk. My body just began moving on its own at some point. By the time I realize it, I'm back in my own room. When did I get here? And why? Once I notice lucidity has come back to me, I grab my phone and immediately type a message to June. I don't even know what I want to say. Do I feel the same? How can you just expect me to come up with an answer to something like that on the spot? Don't just drop something like this on me suddenly, you idiot. Sound of metal and glass cracking echoes across the air. I didn't even notice it at first. My phone is lying on the floor on the other side of the room, burst open at the center, and with the glass cracked into a million pieces. Did I throw it? Why? I sit down at the bed, staring at my own hands in a daze. My mind isn't working right. I don't even know why I'm so annoyed. I just know that I am. I need to talk to June, but I probably shouldn't drop by his house right now. And tomorrow we don't have class either. I'll try to drop by his house tomorrow morning anyway. Not like I can message him now with the mangled mess on the corner. I grab a pillow, falling back out of my bed and burying my face in it, groaning in frustration. Why am I such an indecisive idiot? I need to think things over. That was definitely a confession. I need time to figure out how I feel about it. Part of me definitely wants to say yes, but there's this little part of my brain that keeps screaming at me. It tells me that if I do, I'll just end up hurting June the same way I hurt the girls I dated. I don't want that. I don't want to hurt him. If I had to see him sad or crying, I don't think my heart would be able to take it. Instead, I roll over on my bed as my body begins to relax someplace familiar. My mind begins to settle down, and I crash. One line back, you're saving. Oh my god. That was a ride. Deep breath. Okay, first of all, I'm really sorry about the delay. This update was longer than usual by quite a bit, and the final scene was really hard to write. I spent quite a few hours wondering to myself if I was being too dramatic or too nonchalant. What did I miss? What did I miss? T-Dog, I am so sorry. You missed a huge, intense part of this. You watched June confess to us. Yeah, so well written, Thide. So, I spent quite a few hours wondering to myself if I was being too dramatic or too nonchalant. I wasn't sure how to appropriately write people's responses here. Hopefully, I didn't do too bad of a job on it. And, well, second of all, please put down those pitchforks and don't kill me. I'm sure it comes to a surprise to no one in particular, but the MC is far too unsure about his feelings in relation to June. After all, he doesn't know him for long and their relationship is too recent. Now that he's been given a wake-up call, though, he'll be able to finally consider it properly instead of remaining oblivious. I hope you guys enjoyed this update. It was really challenging to write, but I did have a blast. I'll see you guys again and at the end of April. For now, though, I must sleep for I've barely done so this past week. Get him! No, I'm kidding. Basket, that was amazing. You've been doing great. I didn't get the tears the same way, but I really got into this. Like, I really hit the feels with this one. This was such a good update. For everybody, I still have to do Keisuke's, but I'm assuming it's kind of similar to, like, Shoichi's. So, oh my god. I'm so proud of you, Basket. You've done so much for this. You're doing so great. But I'm not sure if you were there when I talked about how, for me, like, Shoichi's update would kind of hit home to me because of how my volleyball career just ended yesterday, actually. And so I just finished playing community college, and I'm not sure if I'm ever going to continue playing after that. So, kind of like Shoichi, I don't know if I'm ever going to continue. So, I wanted to say that because I don't think I said that back in the last video, since you're here, Basket, just to kind of let you know how I felt about that, and why I wanted to play Shoichi's first. Sorry for making you stay up so late to watch June's, but it was so worth playing. I don't know how to feel about June. Like, it's not like Shoichi where it's like, yes, you know each other so long, it's okay to make the move. It's like, you want to just be like, I love you, June, on day 20, but it's so hard to just do that. It's like, you don't want to take it out of the picture, but you don't want to prolong it for so long that you just get not interested anymore, or have things die off. You put us in a good predicament, Basket. And I totally relate to breaking my phone like that and just straight up slamming that stuff down. Like, I had a dramatic moment like that where junior year of high school like that, I had lost a really close volleyball game. I was so pissed. I threw my phone at like my shelf, my bookshelf, broke my phone, broke some like little league trophy, I guess, or whatever, and just stormed off and just ran off into my neighborhood greenbelt. And I was just frustrated. I just broke that thing, and I don't know. I was in a flurry of emotions, and I feel like that's kind of how Nico is, or Yuichi in terms of MC. But yeah, please don't attack Basket for this ending. Basket did his best, and Basket has done a great job with it, so you can't, like, I honestly would be more angry if you didn't, if, you know, if you try to, like, half-ass or something, like, I obviously know you aren't, but, you know, if you just try to, you know, if you just did not care and were like, I'm just gonna, you know, downplay this or ignore it, then yeah, I'd be angry, but I know you wouldn't do that. So I have mad respect for you I have mad respect for you on this, and writing visual novels and getting it to work like that, and just getting everything to line up so well, especially with the art and the scenes and things transitioning. You're doing so well with it, man. I'm starting to understand how it feels, because I'm starting to collab with somebody for their novel, and I'm doing the art for them, so fingers crossed that turns out well. I don't know how that's gonna turn out. But thanks so much, guys, for watching. We're 2 hours and 15 minutes into this, and that's with skipping through the parts from day 17 that were repeats. So yeah, keep going despite the pain and misery of seeing June. Yeah. It's definitely something all writers have to go through, the thick and thin of things, but yeah, I think this is where we have to just end things. I don't really have much else to say, but sorry, excuse me, guys. Had dinner before this, and yeah. My throat's starting to get a bit sore from this, so it was a long reading. I'd done probably 4.5 hours worth of reading today, so yeah, I'm gonna definitely take a break tomorrow. And be celebrating Easter with family, so happy about that. What is the name of the novel? Well, it's not out yet. We're still trying to work out a few of the characters, like CG and... a few of the characters and a CG scene possibly, but the name of the game is probably going to be called Across the Scarlet Sea. And the creator of it is Badger with an exclamation point, so yeah, I don't know when he'll like announce things about that, but right now we're just kind of demoing things and getting things under wraps. It's kind of a fantasy-based setting where it's like a fantasy world, and basically you're a fish out of water in this world. I don't know how much I want to spoil, but let's just say it's a fish out of water story. You know, thanks, Basket. Have a happy Easter. I'm glad you liked the update. Thanks so much, Basket. And enjoy your holidays or whatever you celebrate too. If you celebrate Easter, happy Easter. If you celebrate Passover, happy Passover. If you celebrate anything else or don't celebrate anything at all, have a great weekend and happy other holidays. But yeah, it's just interesting when that happened with my team losing. I was like, man, I'm relating so hard to this game now. I'm like, I didn't think this would happen so soon, but yeah, that's how it is. I'm kind of like Shoichi, where I'm more just a bit more meek and quiet about things and not too emotional, so yeah. I feel like that's a very valid response. I knew people that were really devastated by it, though, so it's a tough feeling. Anyway, I recommend this game to anybody who hasn't downloaded it. Please support Basket, support him on Patreon if you can. Right now, I can't financially. I haven't financially supported anybody yet, so yeah. Yeah, nothing but good things about this game. So that is all I have for this episode. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in and watching through all this. And until next time, take care, guys.